Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Forge from Iron Extra Time. And like any show, we have some live shows. You have some dropouts, and second show, Duke's a dropout. Surprise, surprise. And I'm Andy, and next to me I've got Steve, and Steve's gonna be doing Duke's job as well. So well done.
Yeah. Evening, Andy. Hello to everybody in the chat. Yeah, I mean, he's got caught up with work, hasn't he? Which happens.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so they're
Yeah,
stuck
no.
with us two tonight.
Yeah, no, of course they are. No, we're only joking. We do miss him. Hopefully, he may pop on, but unfortunately, a couple of his partners stuck in traffic, which is unfortunate. But first of all, I didn't say it, Steve. How you been? When was it? Been a week now. How
Yeah,
much golf you got in?
how much golf? I've only played once actually because I've damaged my Achilles, so I'm trying to give it a bit of rest. Yeah, it's been good. My passion outside of West Ham is playing golf, and I took my son for his first golf lesson today. He's 18, and watching him hit a ball, I think it won't be long till he's better than me, which is quite annoying. But yeah,
Did you watch much of the golf over the weekend, or?
Oh yeah, I watched it all. Yeah, I was absolutely glued to it for 4 days. Brian Harman was brilliant, and the best putter won. The bloke who putted best, which is so often the case, won the tournament. I thought he was excellent.
Yeah, no, exactly. And unfortunately, the cricket was a bit of a disappointment with the weather. But
I think we had him in that test, to be honest.
I agree, mate. I really do agree. And like the atmosphere, like when I was for people in the chat, I went to Duke's pub on Thursday. Me and the girlfriend went there, and we even just watching it in the pub. I would have loved to have been there on Thursday. That was just a masterclass of batting. But if we get back to 2-2, mate, I think that's been a good series. To be honest, if we get at the Oval, I would take that. I know we didn't win the Ashes, but it's better than nothing, isn't it?
Well, I think everybody expected the Aussies to beat us sort of 3-1, 3-0, that sort of thing. So 2-2, and in that last test, we were, before it was rained off, we were really dominant. And that was good to see from English cricket because for a lot of years I've seen the Aussies just thrash us. So it's nice for it not to happen.
So do you know how Tony Cottee had like a great impact when it was gutted, then he left, and then he come back again? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got that. He's just giving me that same effect. Tom Burford's back and he's made a show. What a legend!
Tom. Evening, Tom.
Hey, what a legend! And he's just saying as well, gutted about the cricket. He went to day 1 and 2. Absolutely amazing.
Sounds brilliant.
Well done, Tom.
More entertaining than going to the Hammers, I think, next season.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, obviously, a week's passed since then. Obviously, we had the tour of Australia, which was very nice. Do you reckon that was? I'm not really been a huge fan when you see like and do them tours like the Asia tours and stuff. But for us, Steve, it was a good thing, I suppose, really, wasn't it?
Well, the game against Perth, I mean, we were always going to win it. But any win over Spurs, any win over Tottenham's good. And
Mr. Walsh.
Hi, Andy. What happened? Sorry, I lost my train of thought after Andy put his.
Sorry, that was me, Andy. Andy talking, giving Andy the comment up. So.
Right, yeah. I mean, Tottenham put out a pretty strong side. We played a lot of kids, and we won. You know.
Did you watch the game?
I've watched the highlights. I thought Mubama looked good again. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definite understudy for Antonio if Antonio stays.
Yeah, we'll get onto him at the end. I think he's gone. To be perfectly honest, I'm not going to lie. Especially with the links, what we'll talk about later on. Obviously, Dagenham Redbridge, we played them on Saturday as well. You mentioned Mubama, obviously on the score sheet. Maxwell Cornet as well, apparently having a really good game. It's good to see the likes of Ben Rama getting minutes. We'll get on to Souček, I think, again in a minute. But Do you know what, Steve? I actually feel sorry for him.
So do I.
He's not a bad player. He's just been all of his confidence has just completely been ripped apart, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, my lasting memory of Souček will always be he's got his head gashed and he's up trying to clear the ball away off the line during
Yeah,
COVID. That's the Thomas Souček I remember. And
yeah,
with the way it's played out with Deck demanding to be box to box and taking Souček off his game, it's just destroyed him.
it has, mate. It has, isn't it?
And, I just think, I hope he can rediscover that form because he was a monster when he was at his best.
He was,
And we're
wasn't
going to need that this season, I think.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Obviously, there's a lot of rumours, as there is with any West Ham. Obviously, stuff gets leaked what we want to hear. Stuff gets leaked what is a load of bollocks. To put it quite frankly, it is after half
Yeah.
7, so I won't get in trouble for that. What do you make of it, Steve? Obviously, the rumours of it being a divide. Moyes wants the older players. What do you make of it?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because Moyes has managed in the same way all his career. He's done 1,000 games, and
Yep.
he's not going to change. He believes he's right. And to be fair, you'd have to argue a 6th, 7th, and a European trophy. He's got some fairly strong evidence to say, well, look, guys, I've got this right so far. However, if we are going to progress as a football club, we need to start identifying those players who we can bring in and sell on at a good profit, because we can't compete financially with the big boys. So if you sell a Declan Rice, for example, every other season, puts you in a very strong position.
Yeah.
I wonder. So I think Stuyden's there has been put there. I don't see the club employing him.
Yeah, see that's what Clara and Boo said yesterday, or someone else said it. Obviously, Stein huge links have been with I can't remember his name now. The Man United who was trying to buy Man United. I can't remember his name. He's been heavily linked with that.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me think: has he been employed by the club for the new owners? But it needs to sort it out. I'm just going to read a couple of comments before we move on. Yeah, Hammerhead, welcome, mate. I haven't spoke to you in a long time. Straight to the point. Moyes can piss off. Yeah, I agree. He should have walked at the end of the lot. I agree. I think he should have. He's won his trophy, and then let the rebuild start. Hammerhead again with another comment, but Stuvenall remains the same. Yeah, I agree. He's not changed at all. Mr. Walsh, Moyes is only interested in next season. We the fans a long term, which equals young and hungry.
Absolutely, yeah.
And absolute criminal that there's no Deck replacement yet. We'll get onto that in a minute if views are around for the long haul. And cheers, Hammerhead. Appreciate it. We've got 2 tough games coming up, Steve. Obviously, Anderlecht and Bayer Leverkusen. On your thoughts, do you reckon we'll sort of know the starting 11 for Bournemouth? Obviously, we've not signed anyone yet, so we can't really say whether any of the new signings will be in. Can you see him going full strength in both games? Do you reckon he knows, or do you reckon it's literally going to everyone in the chat as well? I reckon it'll probably be via Deck, the same starting 11, probably what started the final or the last game of the season.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Who's he going to put in holding midfield though? I mean, he's got Downs. Now, he doesn't rate Downs. I personally think Downs would be a very competent defensive midfielder, but that's my opinion. And also, I know the guy who teaches Flynn Down golf. I've never actually met Flynn Downs, but he says he's a thoroughly nice lad who's a really passionate West Ham fan. So that can't be a bad thing either. I think the big question for me is not so much the starting lineup, but who gets the captain's armband. If it's
Yeah.
Souček again, Souček's our captain for next season, and I'm not for that. I'd give it. There must be 3 or 4 players ahead of him. I'd give it to.
Yeah, 100%, right? 100%. Right, we're going to talk about transfers, and I've just picked a few off the top of the head who we're linked with, and everyone else in the chat as well. What I want you to do is give your first opinion of the player or what you know of him, and then the chances out of 10 of us signing them. I think that is probably the best way to do it. I know we sort of touched on it last week, but I'm not going to lie, I've come in a bit unprepared, so to speak, because
Well, it was a
Mr.
bit of a
Dookie.
shock, wasn't it? It was a bit last minute buyout,
Yeah,
buddy. But hey,
it is what it is. But
it
we'll
is.
start with the one what excites us both, Steve, and that is Mr. Conor Gallagher. Obviously, rumours of circulating that he's surplus to requirements at Chelsea. The fee roughly being the same. I've heard between 30 and 40, but that obviously may rise due to add-ons. First of all, say what you like about him. I'll probably say what I like about him, and then our chances out of 10 of signing him. Go on, mate.
Well, I think he's a cracking player. Different to Deck, obviously, he's predominantly defensive, but he's actually got better tackling stats than Deck, which I find quite interesting. I think he would be a really, really good player. I would love to see him at the club. And if I had a choice between him for, say, 40 million plus add-ons or Paulinho for 50 million plus add-ons, I'd buy your hand off all day long for Conor Gallagher. He's proven, he fills the English quota. You know, there's nothing not to like about having him at the club. I think he'd be a really, really good player for us. And I'd love to sign him. Whether we do or not, who knows? But yeah, it would be a big thumbs up from me.
Yeah. Andy's agreed with you. Said yes, please, but no chances of transfer round table. 100%. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how this is going to plan, but I agree with what Gallagher will give us is his energy. I'm not saying he is a Declan Rice. I've not sat there and compared his like running stats of what of what he is, but I definitely agree. He was a fox in the box for Palace. Obviously, he scored them 2 goals at the London Stadium. Okay, just remember that, Steve. That was such a long. That was such a long time ago. And obviously, before that, he was even on loan at West Brom as well. So he's very young, very talented, and the fact that he's sort of like Mason Mount as well. If you think about it, Mason Mount is 6 or 7. And then now the Chelsea are getting them out the door. Obviously, Pochettino's come in and really shaking it up. The amount, but I think they desperately need money as well. I think that's the main reason as well. I'll just give a brief overview, really, of Conor Gallagher. He's won a couple of trophies as well. He's won. What's he won? Second, it had it there. He's won the English Youth Cup. He obviously won the Under-17 World Champion as well. And he's also a Europa League winner as well with Chelsea. So he's got that. He's got that. He played a few times for him as well. So yeah, man, I'll be really over the moon if we could get this one over the line. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to filter it by type and first tier. All the games, because obviously they play so many games in God knows how. So this is mad to think. So in the Premier League, he's played 99 games, 13 goals and 6 assists. So when you think of it like that, Steve, that's pretty.
Well, yeah, for a player that's predominantly a defensive midfielder and not so much box to box.
Yeah,
that's cracking stats.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can't complain on that front. So yeah, no, I'm very impressed with if we could get that one over the line. Would you even go to the I don't know if you did say, you mentioned the price. Would you even go up to 50 million for him?
Yeah, I would for him. Yeah,
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. I think he's good enough. I think he fit in well. Obviously, Chelsea don't think he's good enough for them, which is entirely up to them. But
yeah,
he's more than good enough for us.
yeah,
More than good enough. And I think, given a consistent run in a team, you'd see a very different player and one of
yeah,
quality. So yeah, I think 50 million would be a steal actually.
yeah. So I'll give everyone else in the chat a couple of minutes. I know a couple of people have commented. How much would you pay for Gallagher? And yeah, if you just put that in the chat as well.
What
Um,
what do we think the chances of getting him in? If
yeah,
it was a sensibly run club, I would say it'd be very high. With our lot, who knows? You know,
yeah, mm,
it's a blindingly obvious one to go for.
yeah.
But if you're deciding anything by committee, it's almost impossible.
Well, apparently the rumours are circulating because obviously you've got Noble, Stighton, Moyes, and Sullivan,
Yeah,
and apparently if it goes like three or more, then
yeah,
obviously the deal's going to get done. And the thing what worries me is the rumours what I've heard circulating is the youngster from Man City.
yeah. I know what you
There's
mean.
three votes, and one who didn't vote for him was Moyes. So it's
Yeah.
like if we're going to sign him, is he going to play? Is he going to be another
Well,
Martinez
the
or
the
anything
other
like?
the other thing I've heard, and this is a pretty reliable source actually. I mean, I'm not well connected in the world of West Ham, but far from it. I mean, I know you, Duke, and a few other guys, but the guy who told me this is well connected.
Yeah,
Um, and he said Sullivan wants to sign Stuyden's players, but he
yeah,
won't because he doesn't think Moyes will play them.
mm,
Now, if that's the case, um, I hate to say it, but Moyes has got to go. We
yeah.
are
I
not
agree.
going to develop as a football club. We are not going to get to a position where we can move forward and make an impact with Moyes being, if you like, the dam in the process.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I agree. I agree with what Hammerhead's saying as well. Is it? It's not Eze. It's is it Alessi? I think the winger. 35 million release clause, and I think Chelsea's in the running at the minute. But you never know. Obviously, we can offer that football. So if he wants European, he could go down that way. But I agree with what Hammer said as well. And Hammer said 45 million is a good round number. I think obviously
yeah,
do what maybe even do like 30, 40 and then 5 million in add-ons like what Arsenal done with Deck if we plays a certain amount of games or something like that. I think I agree that Hammerhead agrees with us. Sack Moyes if that's the case.
yeah. I tell you what, on a completely different sideline, by all accounts, Deg had a stinker against Man U, didn't he?
Yeah, obviously we put it in our chat, didn't we? A few of the comments
Yeah,
what he got. I think some of them are harsh. Obviously, he's learning a new team, but at the end of the day, he's made that move, and like I said, I'll support him from England, and that's it. That's it.
yeah. Well, have I or have I not always called it that I
Mm.
didn't think it would work out for Deck when he moved?
Do you know who it reminds me of? I know he's a lot better. Do you remember like Jack Rodwell, who went to Man City?
Yeah,
What Willers said about him as well, but like Adam Johnson and
yeah.
Scott Sinclair, they never made it.
No,
They never.
it, it's a completely different ball game. If Deck had that performance with us, we'd have gone, okay, he's Deck. He'll pull it out. We're still behind you,
Yeah,
Deck. It's happened at Arsenal. And what was the tweet to Deck? It was, we paid 105 million for you. You've got to be better. Something like that. Well,
I know.
I said the price tag, as soon as you put that price tag on the player's head, they're under pressure.
Of course
There
they
you
are,
go.
mate. Of course they are. And yeah, Tom just said if that's how it's going to work, each person votes, we won't be signing anyone. Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
the other rumour I've heard, and this is a rumour, that we're going to make do this season, so we've got a big war chest for when the new manager comes in, the following one.
Yeah. I
And I've
just
also,
don't want it to get to January and we panic buy, Steve. Do you know what I mean? That's the only thing what worries me.
yeah. And the other thing I've heard is this is Sullivan's last season. Now, whether that's true or not, or whether that's just wild hope on someone's behalf, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Hammerhead's also saying as well, Arsenal won't use Rice. He's being used to pass between the lines, a complete different role. I agree.
yeah,
It's a totally different ball game. And the way they bomb their fullbacks forward, he'll be doing a lot more covering even than what he done for us. This is a good question from Mr. Hardy, a great friend of mine. Steve and everyone else in the chat answer that. Has Gallagher proved himself at Chelsea? Do you reckon he has? I'll give before you answer that. I'll give you his stats from last season. Yeah. 45 appearances, 3 goals and 1 assist, 12 yellows, 1 red. I'm not saying I'm not saying we need to judge him on them stats. I'm just reading what I've got in front of me. Obviously, some people may have seen him more, etc.
Well, Chelsea was a basket case last season, so I think I wouldn't want to judge him on that season. I would say he proved himself at Palace.
Yeah, so I'll give you Palace's one. 39 appearances, 8 goals and 5 assists.
Yeah, for a defensive midfielder, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is the real deal. I mean, he may turn up and be awful, but I very much doubt it. But we look at any player who played for Chelsea last season.
Yeah.
They were all over the show.
They were, weren't they?
Yeah, so it's very, very difficult to say, oh, you had bad stats last season at Chelsea. I think Messi might have had bad stats at Chelsea last season, to be honest.
Yeah.
So,
no. Right, so this is going to cause a lot of stir, this player. For me, he's not a starter if we get another couple in, but I think he'll be a good addition to the squad. And like I've mentioned so many times, I think he'll add easily 10 to 15 goals / assists. And I'll let you start off with this one, Steve, and that's Mr. James Ward-Prowse. Before I say that, what was it? The figure. First question: would you include Downs in the deal? And second, as well, how much? Everyone else in the chat, how much money would you pay for him?
Right, would I include Downs in the deal? That's a tough one because I mean, somebody said they don't think Downs is Premier League quality, and I can see that.
Yeah.
I'd like Downs to be given a chance, but on the other hand, if you can get James Ward-Prowse for a knockdown price, if we include Downs, I think you do. However, we are buying James Ward-Prowse for the now, aren't we? We're not buying him for the future. And if you spend 40 million quid on James Ward-Prowse per se, that's dead money because we're never going to get it back.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to fall maybe to do that on one player, maybe, but you certainly can't afford to do it on the rest.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the players you get in have got to have a resale value. Would I like him? Do I think he's a good footballer? Yeah, I do. I think he's a cracking footballer. The age profile, I'm not keen on. I don't know what I pay for him.
Yeah. So he's how old is he? He's
29 in November, I think.
November the 1st. So yeah, he's not getting any younger. But what I agree with everything what you said there, Steve. I agree. Hammerhead, your question with regards to next manager, bring that up on the end if you don't mind. I'm not ignoring you. I agree with what John said as well. He has got a hot head on him as well. So anyone who does a card bet, I'll definitely back him to get a yellow if he joined West Ham as well.
Right.
Hammerhead's go on. Sorry, Steve.
Yeah, this is where I am on the transfer fee. If they said you can have him for 20 million, I'd bite their hand off.
Yeah.
40 million, I'd have to think about it very seriously and look at what else we were getting in and can we sustain that loss long term.
Yeah. See, let me just read these comments out, Steve. Yeah, Hammerhead saying 2 old James Ward-Prowse. I won't pay more than 30 million. Yeah, I think 30 million is my maximum, to be perfectly honest. Mr. Walsh is saying no, keep Downs never been given a fair chance. Yeah, it'd be very disappointing if it was one. Maybe even loan him, Steve, because then they've not got a full out for one, have they? So
No.
I know he wouldn't be getting out. I know we're paying, but we're still keeping Downs. Anyone else in the chat? Do you reckon that can happen? Mr. Burford saying can't include Downs. I wouldn't pay more than 25, 30 million. But if there's a team he should join, it should be us Deadpool specialist. Hammerhead's just saying that they turned down the Downs option. Oh, okay, I didn't realise that.
I think they did actually. Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I'll give you some stats. This is for bear in mind. So this is in all comps. So he's played more than the 38 games.
Yeah.
So last season, James Ward-Prowse played 45 games, 11 goals and 5 assists. So when you look at it like that, that's obviously I said 10 to 15 goal contributions in all comps. That's 16 goals and assists. So if you think of that, was a bit of a downfall last season, really, wasn't it? We wasn't scoring frequently like what we have in the past. But yeah, no, 30 million would be my maximum.
I think Southampton have said they want at least 40 for him. So
yeah.
Oh, Chris. Now this is my mate from Amherst Chat who's come across. Watch it, El Hobbit. How you doing, mate? Good. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Sorry, Tom. I'll have to have a look at that, mate. With regards to the open play, but yeah, I agree. That is a concern if it is. But I can look at that. I probably can grab that up in a little while. Let's have a look. Oh. Yeah, all goals. Hang on, here we go. See, he loves a question, but it's a good question. It is a good question.
I don't know what the question is.
He said how many were in open play. So, so out of his, how many goals did I say he got last season? I can't remember now. 1 second. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 of, oh my god, this is bad, but you can laugh. 7 out of his 11 goals were set pieces, penalties or free kicks. So 4 were in open play.
How many penalties did he score then?
Because I think it was 2.
Right. Okay.
So 5 of them were set pieces from free kicks, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah. So Chris and Andy are saying hello to each other. I'll move forward. Yeah, Hammerhead, we're going to get onto that. Like Onana, I agree. Someone like that would be good. I know we sort of mentioned it last week. Me and Duke and Steve, we mentioned it, but this one as well. What does everyone make of Scott McTominay? I'll give my thoughts first, Steve, if you don't mind.
Yeah, carry on.
I think he is outstanding. He's absolutely outstanding. Box to box, a lump as well. So we wouldn't be losing any height, for example, if hopefully, fingers crossed, Souček gets dropped. He's a leader. I've seen he terrorised Spain. I don't know if you watched that game, Steve, as well. When
I didn't.
Scotland played Spain, they just ripped him to shreds. I feel sorry for him as well. I really do. I think he's another player who's unfortunately just fallen down the pecking order.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah. He's only 26 still as well, so he's still at a good age. So you've probably realistically, he's not even hit his peak yet, has he?
No. I mean, yeah, either Gallagher or Scott McTominay.
I would love both of them. I would love both of them. If we were to spend 70 or 80 million on both of them, I think that's money well spent, Steve.
I do. Yeah. I mean, they would give us an awful lot, wouldn't they? Those two players. Yeah, an awful lot more than what we've got. and both of them run and run and run and run, which suits the Moyes side very nicely. Yeah, I'd be all in for that, both of them. But again, you've got to get the committee to agree.
Yeah, no. Let's have a look here at some of the comments. Yeah, 29. I agree, Hammerhead. It is old. Chris is saying I was keen on James. I was keen on him when he was about 21. Chris, as soon as I saw him score a couple of goals, I was like, I'd love him at West Ham. Hammerhead, McTominay, no, thank you.
Really?
Tom,
Okay.
yeah, Tom, yes, please, McTominay, great signing for us. That would be. Walshy saying I think he could be the new Lingard for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be happy with McTominay. Don't know much about him, but Gio raves about him. Another good card risk, but I think we need that, Steve. Do you know that aggression that we want to win and tackle the ball, and Paqueta's got that as well. So, like, if we're going to play that three, for example, this would be dreamland. McTominay, Gallagher, and Paqueta as a midfield three. I think that's up there with one of the top midfield three you'd probably put on paper at least.
Well, you see, we're not going to. Teams like, let's say, City, we don't beat them by playing them at football. We beat them by basically getting in their face and working them off the pitch.
Yeah.
That's how a team like West Ham gets a result against City, because technically we're never going to be the size City are. So yeah, put those three in there who are tough characters. It would at least give the top side something to think about, wouldn't it? Oh, I don't want to come up against those three, because Paqueta, I mean, he's got all the skill in the world, but he's also a fighter, if you like, in there, isn't he? So yeah, I'll be all over that.
Yeah, I agree with what Hammerhead's saying here as well, and I think that sometimes can be a bad reflection on players. Maybe it's just how he looks at United, and I'm judging him off. At West Ham wouldn't be a bad fit for him. Same as Maguire. I agree. Some players just don't get it, or don't fit in at all, and it is a tough one. I understand, like, because the likelihood of West Ham buying a top player, like, this is just Premier League, from the top six and then stepping down. I know we're in Europa League, is very, very slim. So you're looking at the fringe players. But what if you could rate the chances out of 10, Steve, do you reckon we could convince him to come?
Oh yeah, could convince him to come. I like that from Chris. Yeah, we could convince him to come. He'd go from being a small fish in a big pond to a big fish in a smaller pond.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, the other thing is he'd be loved at West Ham, because he'd be everything we want a West Ham player to be. Completely committed, hard-working, and quite decent, actually. That's why we love Paqueta.
Just want to thank everyone as well. This chat's like really good. It's a lot harder to struggle doing two people on a stream, but thanks for everyone in the chat with your comments.
Yeah.
It's making it flow a lot easier. So, rumors circulating, Steve, obviously, that agents are now getting involved with a particular player, and that is Mr. Alvarez. I'm not going to sit here and say I know a lot about him. I've not looked at him, but the fact that he's obviously got European experience playing for Ajax as well. Obviously that South American swaz about him. Obviously the rumors only like 35, 40 million. I think this could be a good buy as well. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't watched him play any YouTube highlights, because anybody looks brilliant on YouTube. Let's be fair. But from what I've read, he'd be a really good fit for us.
Mm-hmm.
Brazilian, isn't he?
Is he Mexican? I think he might be Mexican.
Yeah,
I'll be able to tell you in a second.
But yeah, again,
yeah, Mexican.
Yeah, all those three defensive midfielders we've talked about, I'd take any one of them. Yeah. I'd like to take two of them. Two of those three would be excellent. But I understand Alvarez is a really good player. Again, another hothead. So put him next to.
But I just love the spice of having two South Americans in the midfield because Paqueta can hold himself as well, like we mentioned earlier. And I think having that South American head, they're winners as well, aren't they? They're animals, and I think that could benefit us as well.
No, I agree. Yeah, again, I'd be very happy if we got him in. And at 35 million, I think that's a really good price for somebody of his quality, actually.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. There's a few comments here. Maybe I just said that's yeah. Yeah, I agree. Do you know what? If we could get him on loan, I wouldn't pay a fee for him. If we could even get Maguire in for a season, I'd be all over that as well. Right, just to have someone else in the
Yeah,
back
well,
line.
let's look at the hidden gem that was Craig Dawson. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I wouldn't give to have Craig back at the club, even now. You know,
Yeah.
and there's your captain's armband straight away for Craig Dawson. But hey, we're not going to get him back, sadly.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. Belfort, I agree, Tom. I'm the same. At least about no idea, but like obviously a lot of the scouts and everything are saying it. Never seen him, but very good. Who knows? Maybe worth a shout. I agree. Mr. Walsh obviously confirming that he's from Mexico. Chris is saying Alvarez will be good. He's a good ball player and his tackling is good. So yeah, that's definitely that. And Hammerhead saying Alvarez is more attacking. Yeah, he mainly plays up front or a cam. So yeah, like you said, like if having someone like McTominay behind him and having Paqueta and them doing the business, that'll be good to see as well.
Yeah, I think what the problem's going to be is this love-in with Souček, though. Moyes just will not drop him.
Oh, seen that? What, Mr. Evening, Rob? Hope you're doing well. Look at that. James Ward-Prowse and Scamacca have the same agent. Interesting. Very interesting. But I'm just going to give you a few stats. I'm not going to talk for a lot of it. I'm just giving the stats from last year. So Alvarez, he played 44 games, 4 goals and 3 assists. Also played 6 games and scored 1 goal in the Champions League as well. So that's pretty good going. And for a hothead, he only had 1 red card and 16 yellows last season. So we mentioned the card. So definitely be up for a card bet with him on board.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's another player I look at and think what's not to like. And look, he's got Champions League experience. He's scored in the Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's decent. Let's be honest. And at the moment, we've got no one. That's the problem. We have no one.
We don't, and that's the worrying thing, isn't it, mate? That is the worrying thing.
Yeah, I find what's going on absolutely barking mad, to be honest. But that's just me. But I was saying to somebody the other day, you know, me and my son's season tickets cost me over £1,000 a year. Fine.
Yeah.
I want to buy them. It's my choice. But if the supporters are paying that much money, okay, the club have a responsibility to those people who actually pay out for season tickets. And at the moment, I don't think they're meeting it.
One player who Hammerhead mentioned earlier, I'm still a huge fan. I know he turned us down last summer. What would you say if we went calling to Everton for Amadou Onana? Would you like him as added to the side as well, Steve?
Yeah, and
he's only 21 years of age as well.
He didn't turn us down. I think he couldn't get the assurances he wanted from Moisey.
Oh, is that it? Oh, okay, mate. Yeah, you know more than what I didn't realise
that's what I was led to believe. You know, and okay, you can't say to anybody you're guaranteed first team football. I get that, but there's ways of doing it. Yeah, I would absolutely. I'd have him. I've seen him play for Everton. He's their best player on the pitch, in my opinion. And yeah, I'd have no problem at all with him. But again, a player we could have got for 20 million and now be 50.
But 21 years of age. Well, say 20. He turns 22 in on the 16th of August. 50 million, 5-year deal, works out 10 million a year. That's a bargain, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, when you put it like that, yeah. Yeah, and he'll have sell-on value at the end because he's only going to get better from that age, isn't he?
Yeah.
So we'd
Yeah.
probably be able to make a profit on him.
Right. My conversion's not really that great, Steve. See if you can or anyone else. So he's 1.95 meters tall. How many? How's that in
Well, he's
feet?
slightly taller than me, about 6'3", 6'4".
Wow. What a player. He's just an absolute. I'm surprised. I'm just reading his stats from last year. 35 appearances, 1 goal and 2 assists. I'm surprised he didn't score more.
He was playing for Everton, who were awful. I mean,
Yeah.
Everton, when they came to the London
Yeah.
Stadium, were terrible, weren't they, last year?
So with regards to, sorry, Tom, I've just seen that 35 million reported Everton paid for him last year.
That much? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realise that. I didn't realise that
No, I
either.
didn't think it was that much.
Yeah.
But
Chris is
hey,
saying bite their hand off. I agree. Hammerhead
yeah,
saying we didn't give him the money and the game time he wanted. Chris is also saying Onana was keen on us whether his sister is his agent and got more money from Everton. Okay, so that maybe I've been slagging him off a little bit. The more than
yeah,
what?
no, he didn't turn us down. It's not that he didn't want to come; it was just other factors.
Yeah. Chris is also saying definitely taller than him.
That much is for certain.
Yeah. Yeah, and Andy Walsh is saying the same. Stop. And he's bigger than 6'4". Yeah, about 6'4". They reckon 1.95. So that's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, 2 meters is 6'6".
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
2.5 centimeters is an inch roughly.
Yeah. Right, people in the chat. We're going to talk about a few other positions in a little while, but what I want to do is, I know we've been linked with other players, so I'm going to list them in the order what I've got here. So if you had to pick your ideal 2 out of Onana, James Ward-Prowse, Conor Gallagher, Scott McTominay, and Alvarez, if you could pick 2, including you, Steve, everyone else, all 11 watching in the chat, can you name your ideal 2 for me, please?
Right, for me, it's Onana and Alvarez. And Onana's basically he's a beast, isn't he? And really good defensive midfielder. Alvarez has got that defensive capability. I don't know how quick he is, but if he's quick as well, he's also good on the ball, scores goals, creates assists. Those 2, I think, would be a good matchup.
I agree, mate. Let's have a look here. Look, Hammerhead agrees with you. I'm going to spice it up a little bit.
Ooh.
I'm going to say Gallagher and Onana.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, the reason, no, even Tom and Steve have just said it as well. I didn't think of that as well. Look, Onana and McTominay.
Oh, yeah.
So when you look at that, that is power as well. And
Yeah,
John Hardy's saying it as well. Oh, I think I might have to agree with him now. I'm changing my mind, you know?
Yeah, do you know what? I mean, it's a very, very strong case for those 2, isn't it?
There we go. Onana and McTominay. But I agree with what Hammerhead, like Alvarez is. It is so tough. It is so tough. I understand, like, people. It is tough. It is tough to pick.
Basically, you get any 2 of those, you're going to be happy, aren't you?
Yeah.
In reality.
All right. This is going to cause a stir. This is just a simple, because we know what he's about. This is just a simple yes or no answer from you, Steve.
Okay.
For this player. Harry Maguire at West Ham United, yes or no?
That's difficult. On loan, yes. Permanent buy, no.
Yeah, I agree with what Tom's saying. Good luck running. Sorry, I'm going back through the old comments. Good luck running through that midfield. Yeah. Paqueta, Onana, and McTominay. Nobody. Imagine if we could. That is unreal when you think about it. Who goes if they come in? Do you know what, Mr. Singleton? I don't think anyone goes. If you think Lanzini's gone, Rice has gone, I think Souček will be used as a backup. You got Down, so I don't think anyone needs to go. To be honest.
The only thing I would say is, and as much as I love him as a player and as a character, it might be a good thing if Souček went because it would stop Moyes playing him all the time, regardless.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that as well. With the answer to Maguire, sorry, Chris says yes. Hammerhead, yes. Tom, yes. Mr. Hardy saying no. Stick with what we've got. Downs 2.0. I think that's what's saying. Yeah, perfect size club. Look at Maguire at Leicester. I agree.
Yeah. I tell you what. There's one other thing that has been mooted. Would you play Thilo Kehrer as defensive midfield? Because he's played that for Germany.
No, because I think we're going to adjust to a back three, and we'll need his pace at getting back if we're going to be using wing backs. But I agree with what you're saying as well. I think he would be good. I think he's played there for Germany a couple of times, I believe.
Yeah, he has. You see, I know Kehrer had a rocky start, but I really rate Kehrer as a player. I think he's terrific. So
yeah. Everyone else in the chat, would you consider playing Kehrer as a defensive midfield player if you let us know?
Mind you, the way we're going, we might have to.
Yeah, you never know, mate. You never know. Is there anyone, Steve, who we haven't mentioned, who realistically, I'm not saying we're going to go and get like a De Bruyne, but is there anyone in the Premier League who we haven't mentioned who you'd think would be a good fit for us? Anyone else in the chat as well? Is there anyone who we're missing, maybe from a team who who got relegated? I'll make that a little bit easier. Is there anyone who you consider who would be a good fit for us?
Not off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's someone out there who would be a good fit. But it's one thing Sullivan has said, which isn't a surprise, but I do get where he's coming from. He says people are asking stupid prices.
Yeah.
Alex Scott, he's not in the Prem though, is he, Chris?
Yeah. No, I agree with what I just put him up because as well, just as in general, I think he would be a great addition for us as well. It's really worrying me, isn't it? Like no one snapped him up yet. It really is. I'm just so surprised.
Well, I think there are a lot of players who could come in and do a job. The answer to that, Rob, is yes, I would. There are a lot of players who can come in and do a job, but I think what they're trying to build is they don't just want players who will do a job. They want players who will do a job we can develop and sell on. Because that's the only way we're ever going to get close to financially competing for some of these bigger players. And the only way we're ever going to really move forward from where we are now, where we've been the last 3 seasons, with winning a trophy, I'll take it. But that's as far as we can go with the model we got now. So I just want to see something different.
Yeah. I agree with what Epic's saying here. He's a very good player. I always rated him at Southampton. He's a very good left-footed as well. So he could be the Oggy replacement, really, because I do love a left-footed centre back. I think it's very rare that you get it as well. Tom Burford as well. I don't know. Can they actually sell him? Or I know Man City's got a buyback option, but can they set? They have to ask Man City first. I don't know how that works with buyback options, but he's definitely a good player as well.
I'd have Lavia.
Yeah, Premier League Callum Wilson say he can't score against them.
Yeah.
And they agree as well that they're always playing catch up. I mentioned him last week. This player, the one for me. The rumors about 15 million pound. Well, 15 million euros, I should say.
Yeah.
and that is from Bayern Leverkusen, who we're playing. So I don't know whether we're waiting to see how good he is when he plays us. And that is Mr. Jonathan Tah, German international. I think Kehrer could play a big part in that because the fact that they're national teammates as well. And you can say what you want about the Germans. The one thing they can do, Steve, is defend, isn't it?
I think Jonathan Tah will be excellent for us. I'd have him
Yeah.
over Maguire any day.
Yeah, it's about 26, I think. Played for his country, Champions League, experienced
Really,
Bundesliga, good
really, really good player. Yeah, I'd love him. That's my opinion on it. Others may disagree, but I think he'd be a great fit.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate, 100%. Anyone in the chat? We're going to go on for probably about another 8 minutes. We'll do the full hour. Is there anyone? Any questions you want to ask me and Steve? We could probably answer it. Anyone else in the chat as well?
Well, we can try and answer it.
Yeah, we'll try and answer it as best. Oh, Mr. Hardy, I knew you put a spanner in the works. Steve, I'm going to put a question up for you.
Go on. Oh, no. No. If he'd torn it up at Forest, yeah, maybe. But I think there's too much water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Too much bad feeling with the fan base now. And to be honest with you, he had that golden patch for us, didn't he? But he got himself back in the England squad, but that's the best he's ever been.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah. No. Chris said, would rather sign my mother than Lingard. Another one for another one.
He's quite quick down the wing and's got a good right foot, so it might be an option.
I'm just going to. I was going to save the strikers for next week, so we have someone to talk about. But obviously, these rumours started circulating this morning or late last night, and that's an ex-Liverpool striker called Divock Origi. Obviously, the rumours that Antonio is leaving. Would you take him back, Steve?
Right. Well, there's been a bit of an update from Claret and Hugh on that one. Claret and Hugh have just said, no, that's not true.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
And the other thing is, Antonio's moved to Saudi Arabia. The club who want him don't want to pay a fee for him.
Right. Okay.
So what I've heard, so we're not going to get rid of him. So.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, yes, true, but he's got 2 years on his contract. You can't let him go on a free. He might want the move. He might want the big cash, but I don't know. No, I don't think we're getting Divock Origi. I think it's all made up.
Andy Walsh is saying, Payet, Lingard, and Arnautovic are coming.
Oh, Payet. No, as much as I'd love Payet from the player he was when he left us, I don't think he's that player anymore.
All right, then. Chris is saying, would you take Payet over? Obviously, he's a free agent. Would you take him as a free agent?
He's 36 now.
One last hurrah?
Yeah, as an impact sub, possibly. Payet on his day for us was.
I'm going to put it out there. I think he was better live than Di Canio.
Yeah, in the modern era, I mean, my best player I've ever seen play for West Ham was Trevor Brooking, but that goes back a few years. But in the modern era of the Premier League, Payet was the best player I've ever seen play for us. Would I take him back? Yeah, I probably would, actually.
Yeah.
Even if you use him for 20 minutes at the end of the game. I mean, the things that bloke could do with the football were unbelievable. So, yeah, if it was for a season, why not? And see how it goes.
Yeah. Free agent for Payet. Payet had 1 year left on his contract, terminated because he was no longer good enough. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe he's been eating too much. Too many Uber Eats, because that's what sponsors that one, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he's past it, then no.
Yeah. No to Origi for me. Saw he's terrible in Italy. No, I agree. No, when I only saw him as he didn't really start many games for Liverpool, did he? When he was there as well. Pyatt contract game by game. Pyatt over James Ward-Prowse, same skill on free kicks and free. Epic saying if he's not good enough to play in French league, is he good enough for the Prem? No, I agree. I was just putting it out there. 2 up, 2 down. Heard that Tars price has doubled. I'd even still pay for 30 million, to be perfectly honest. I think he would be a good addition for us. Pyatt, yeah, looks like me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Right. We mentioned it sort of last week, Steve, and everyone else in the chat. I started this comment until last. What do you reckon the chances are of Xabi Alonso being our next manager?
95%.
Do you reckon?
I tell you what, yeah, his contract runs out at the end of the season. Moyes' contract runs out at the end of the season. He's already worked with Steiden. I think that's the plan. I'd be I think there's a really, really good chance of that myself. Mm-hmm. And it's not something I'd be against either.
Yeah. No, I agree, mate.
You know, I heard something from Sam Allardyce. David Sullivan likes English managers. Well, so be it. But, you know, we can't...
British, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, British, not... yes. Boy, he's Scottish, isn't he? But we can't get the top quality managers. And let's face it, the real top quality managers aren't the British managers, are they? You got your Klopps, you got your Guardiolas, you got people like that.
Yeah, no, I agree, mate. I agree. The one manager I think would be a good fit for us, but it's more of a I think Xabi Alonso will be good. The other one is Thomas Frank from Brentford, but I can't see us in moving over to us, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah. What about Potter?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I would. So but Alonso would be my favourite. Just seeing what it is. Let's have a look. Chris is saying yes, please. 2 up, 2 down. 90% Moyes will walk. Probably as high as what? Do you know what? Our first 6 games, if he don't get more than 8 points, I reckon he's gone.
I can honestly say, well, we were going to talk about this, but the cabal over transfers, you know, something has got to give. If all the club wants to push him one way and Moyes doesn't, you might be right there, Chris. Then something's got to give, and it's got to be Moyes, hasn't it? Mm. If he's the one thing that's holding back everything the club wants to do, sorry, thanks very much for all you've done. We really appreciate what you've done, but let's go our separate ways now. Right. We wish you luck in your future.
Right, I was going to finish. Sorry, people just agreeing there. Epic saying Moyes will never going to walk. I reckon he'll be sacked, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying. This is just a simple yes or no answer. Just put the initial. I know I don't want you to write the teams. Just write B or, for example. We're just going to go for our first 6 fixtures and a simple win, loss, or draw. Do you think we're going to get anything on the opening game of the season, Steve? Bournemouth away? Yes or no?
Yes, draw.
And before we start, is there anything else? Yeah, we mentioned that 2 up, 2 down. We reckon he's been placed for that as well. Yeah, when he's got. So yeah, people have gone for Andy Walsh has gone for a draw. Win for Bournemouth. Win. And everyone reckons we're going to win. Chelsea at home. Steve.
Loss.
I reckon we'll get a draw.
Okay.
A lot of people have gone for yes, win and win. They reckon we'll beat Chelsea.
Okay.
Hammerhead saying lose. Yeah. Win. Draw. our team who we have never beaten in the Premier League, and we're facing them away from home, Brighton and Hove Albion. Steve?
Lose. When do we?
Yeah.
I mean, after last season's performance, lose.
Do you know what? I agree with Hammerhead. I think we'll beat them. I've got this funny feeling that I keep saying it for the last few times that a hoodle's about to end, and I think it might do.
Well, I told you what my son. He's 18. He says he just wants to live long enough to see us beat Brighton in the Premier League.
Yeah. 2-2. Chris is saying a draw. 2-2 down, loss. Andy Walsh is saying Brighton lose, draw. Mr. Hardy is saying a win. We go to a little tiny stadium just along up the M1. Luton away. Steve, how do you see that one going?
Win.
I agree. I think we'll be too much. I think we'll be too much. Obviously, there's rumours. Obviously, if they at the minute it's scheduled for Friday night at 8 o'clock, but if they get to the second round of the League Cup, it will be moved to a Sunday 12 o'clock. So,
Okay.
not that makes a difference, but I thought I'd let anyone in the chat know if they didn't know.
Yeah, I think we win that one.
Yeah, everyone else is saying win on that one. We're getting 12 point. I love everyone else. I was going to click on all of them, but I didn't. But I just love this comment. We're going to get 12 points, lad. Bill Moyes a statue. And the final two. Is that the final two? 1, 2. Yep. The triple crown from last season. Triple winners, I should say. Man City at home, Steve. How'd you see that one go?
I can never tell. I think we'll lose it because City are brilliant.
Yeah. Do you know what? On the opening game of the season, I had a lot of people saying we didn't show much like fight or anything. But if you think of the way they destroyed so many teams, we only lost 2-0 to them, didn't we? At home last season. And I think we gave them a good game. We did that, mate, didn't we? Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a given that you just aren't going to beat City. I mean, the 2-2 with City at the end of the previous season was a cracking game.
Yeah.
But no, you never know with West Ham, but I think we lose it, if I'm honest.
Is their ground up to scratch? Yeah, so they've asked for the Burnley game to be postponed, but a lot of people are just saying, well, why don't they just swap the fixture? I'm not too sure with that, but yeah, they're still struggling to provide everything there. What you've been? We don't tolerate that on this channel. Loss. City defeat. Loss. Good shout. I think that was for is the ground up to scratch. And would you like some? And the last one. This is a tough one, Steve.
Go on.
Anfield away.
Oh, blimey. We're last few games we've played up at Liverpool, we have really played well and come away with nothing. We've got to get a draw there sometime, so I'm going to wildly go for a draw up there.
Walshy agrees with you. Mr. Singleton's going for a win. Chris is going for a win. Defeat at Anfield. And then draw.
If we win at Anfield, it'll only be the second time in my lifetime, and I'm 58.
Oh, wow.
Just to put it in perspective,
yeah.
we hadn't won at Anfield until I was into my 40s.
I know, it's been mad.
I know.
Walshy's saying I've been 3 times to... Right, you've got to go, Walshy. Well, if I get my ticket, you're taking my place. You're going to Anfield.
Absolutely. Send him up there.
We're going to have to do a petition. Get Walshy to Anfield.
Maybe we could do a GoFundMe page.
Yeah, there we go. That's the plan. You know what, Steve? Well, I always enjoy streams, and obviously the fact that Duke's not here, but I want to give a huge shout out to everyone in the chat. This has been thoroughly enjoyable. We've been going for an hour and
Yeah.
5 minutes. I've been tried to keep it for an hour, but we overrun. I just want to, yeah, we did. I want to thank everyone in the chat. We may be doing one. We may do one before next Monday, depending what our schedules are like. I think Duke might release a couple of videos himself, if not, because obviously he's missed out this week. Thanks to everyone. If anyone in social media or anyone in your WhatsApp groups think they might like to listen to us boring fuckers, then definitely share it. That'll be amazing. Thanks, Mr. Walsh. Thank you, Mr. Burford. Thank you, Chris. Lovely to meet you. Mr. Singleton as well. And yeah, thanks to Up To Dan. Yeah, hit the like button. That will go. That would be great. Anything to say, Steve, before we go?
We are massive.
Yeah, and thank you, Jesus. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.